Gertrude Stein once said, "All of you young people who served in the war, you are the lost generation." This is the premise of our presentations today. If you guys want to get into groups and start working, that would be great.
Whoa, where am I?
I think you mean, when am I? You're currently in Paris in 1924.
Who are you?
I'm Gertrude Stein, author, poet, and competitive.
Hyperpigmentation?
I'm part of the lost generation.
Okay, Gertrude, but I'm still confused. If you're lost, then how come I just found you?
Well, I'm not really lost. That's just what we call ourselves. My generation is considered lost because we couldn't find our place in society since the values we were brought up on were no longer relevant after World War I.
Who's we?
Me and my friends. Everyone in the lost generation was affected by the war in different ways. My friend Edward served as a volunteer ambulance driver in France, and Ernest did the same in Italy. After a while, Edward's anti-war sentiment even landed him in jail. The war was hard on all of us. One of my friends, Scott, enlisted in the U.S. Army before he graduated from Princeton. He began training in 1917, and the war ended shortly before he was to be shipped off. By the time the war ended, Scott, like most of us, had lost so many loved ones. Our old ideals no longer fit what we saw in the world around us. In the aftermath of war, a new realism was emerging, and we sought fresh voices and forms of expression. I found a welcoming community of other expertise artists and writers in the vibrant cultural scene of Europe. I finally felt free to reinvent myself and express my experiences of alienation and loss throughout my writing. I knew that so many other lost artists felt the same. So that's who we are, the lost generation.
Oh, well, how did the rest of the society treat you? Like the non-lost generation?
I'm E. Cummings, but you can call me Eddie.
And the Grammy goes to Cowboy Carter.
I'm Hemingway. And he's right. The traditionalists in society think we are just rebellious for the sake of rebellion. They're so skeptical of us that sometimes it looks like they're even scared.
So they think you're crazy?
Yup. Yeah.
Wait, so what did you guys do exactly?
Well, I was a poet and painter. I grew up in Massachusetts and then graduated from Harvard, where I first began publishing some of my many poems. I consider myself a pacifist, so I chose to volunteer for the ambulance corps in France. I made lots of friends there, and as Gertrude said earlier, I even landed myself in jail for suspicious activities. My time in French captivity inspired my first major novel, The Enormous Room. Fun fact, I'm also known for my unique writing style, especially my disregard for capital letters.
Wow, I didn't know. What about you, Ernest?
Well, I am pretty famous, so I bet you would recognize some of my works. The Sun Also Rises, A Farewell to Arms. No? Maybe my famous flash action For Sale baby shoes, never worn. Seriously? Well, I may be biased, but I would say that I'm pretty phenomenal. I grew up near Chicago, and then began my first job as a reporter right after high school. I tried to join the army, but they always rejected me because of a bad eye. I managed to serve anyway, as an ambulance driver in Italy. The rest is history. I came here to Paris, met these guys, and pursued my love for writing.
Hey there! Oh, hey, Scott, how are you? Oh, I'm good. What's going on here?
We're all telling our stories. Want to share yours?
Sure thing. Well, you know me, I'm pretty young, but I'm the most mature romance writer you'll ever meet. Hemingway, pass me a beer.
No, you both are unbearable when you drink.
Anyways, I adore Princeton. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota, and I'm an Irish Catholic moralist, but I'm always down for some scandalous jazz activities on the stage, if you know what I mean.
I don't know.
Anyways, I married my wife Zelda in 1920. We're struggling financially, but hey, I've gotten pretty well known from my novels This Side of Paradise and The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby is about attaining the American dream. My writing style is colorful, witty, and shows the emotions of the world around me. My primary passions are love, wealth, and success, but I've only really got love. We just moved to France, Zelda and I. That's where I met my bro Hemingway. Also, I termed the word jazz age. Once someone objected to how I care for love and success, and I said, but my God, it was my material, and it was all I had to deal with. I usually theme my work around the idealism of the American dream and loss.
His wife wouldn't settle until he had a stable income and retired from alcoholism.
Can I get a beer or a cig?
Child. Anyway,
I heard
so.
of Great Gatsby. So, is it just you guys, or are there more?
There are many other artists as part of our generation. John Dos Passos, Ford Maddox Ford, Sylvia Beach, I could go on. But there's also a broader generation made up of many more people.
What do you mean?
Well, we are the lost generation. The artists and authors who took inspiration from society after World War I. But there is another meaning of the lost generation. That meaning pertains to everyone that came of age during the 1910s. All of the men who died in war, all of the women who lost their husbands, they're all lost too.
So now you know about the lost generation.
Lucy, wake up. You're up.